Welcome, everyone. Welcome to something a bit different today for our deep dive. We're stepping away from the usual data points and analysis.
hmm
Instead, we're immersing ourselves in a story, a single, really powerful narrative that I think promises to challenge how we see some fundamental things.
Yeah, absolutely. What we're looking at is essentially a fable, a traditional story. But these kinds of narratives, they have this incredible way of shining a light on really complex human stuff.
Right.
And this one specifically, it sort of forces you to reconsider big ideas like, well, sacrifice, memory,
Mm.
even what we think of as good and maybe evil.
hmm
Our goal here is to dig into that, to pull out the wisdom hidden in the story.
And the way it's told is just, it pulls you right in. It's an elder telling this story to two kids, Abdullah and Pari.
Yeah?
So you feel like you're sitting there with them, listening. It sets a very intimate tone right from the start. Okay, so let's start where the story does. This village, Maidan Sabzi, it sounds like a place just defined by hardship.
Oh, completely. Picture this dry, dusty landscape near mountains. Water's a constant struggle, always. And this is after 10 years of drought.
10 years, wow.
Yeah. So people were, like the story says, working twice as hard to eke out half the living. Kind of just survival was the main thing, day in, day out.
Sounds incredibly tough.
It was. But what hits you immediately is the contrast.
Yeah.
This grinding physical life versus the inner richness of the main character, Baba Ayub.
Okay.
He's a farmer, works dawn till dusk like everyone else.
Yeah.
But the story emphasizes he cherished his family above all things.
Mm.
He and his wife, a really loving relationship. And they had 5 kids, 3 boys, 2 girls. And he's teaching them these core values:
Right.
honesty, courage, friendship, hard work, without complaining,
Yeah.
even when things are so bleak.
It shows that wealth isn't just about material things, even then.
Exactly. It's about connection, character.
And one of the children, the youngest son, Quais, he sounds particularly special.
He does. The description is lovely. Dark blue eyes, this devilish laughter,
Yeah.
just full of energy.
Sounds like a handful.
A bit, yeah. So much energy, he'd actually sleepwalk at night, which you can imagine was a worry for his parents.
Oh, definitely. In that environment, yeah.
Right. So Baba Ayub comes up with this, well, simple solution. He takes a tiny bell off one of his goats.
Just a little goat bell.
Yeah, exactly. And ties it around Kai's neck. At first, it's purely practical, so they can hear him if he wanders.
Makes sense.
But the story shows how it becomes more than that. Kais gets attached to it. It's always jingling with each of his tiny steps. And for Baba Ayub, hearing that jingle after a hard day's work, it becomes this deep source of joy.
Comfort.
A small sound meaning so much.
Yeah, and it kind of sets up this theme about memory and attachment, which becomes really important later on.
So this life, hard but, stable in its own way,
Yeah.
it gets completely upended.
Yeah, shattered, really. One day, this creature arrives. A div.
A div, like a djinn or a giant.
Something like that, yeah. A monstrous being. The ground shakes when it walks. Its shadow darkens the sky. Pure terror. And the villagers knew what it meant.
Oh, they knew. It was said the div would just eat on the spot. Anyone who even glanced at it, and it had this awful custom.
What was that?
It would tap on a roof,
Yeah.
just tap, and demand one child from that house.
One shot.
One child. Or, if the family refused, it took all of them.
Oh, my God.
Apparently, the villagers had wondered why Maidan Sabs had been spared for so long. Maybe, they thought, their lives were too poor, their kids too skinny for the div.
Grim logic.
But their luck, well, it ran out.
And then the absolute worst happens. The tap comes on Baba Ayub's roof.
You can just imagine the sound. His cry is described as agonized. His wife faints straight away. The kids are weeping. They know what this means.
And they have until dawn.
Until dawn to make their offering. It's an unthinkable choice for any parent.
How do they even begin to decide?
That's the core of the horror, isn't it? They spend the whole night just weeping, arguing, tormented. There's no right answer. As dawn gets closer, the terror that the div will take all 5 if they don't choose. It forces Baba Ayub's hand. His wife is just paralyzed. She can't do it.
Understandably.
So he takes 5 identical rocks, scratches each child's name on one, puts them in a burlap sack.
Oh, like drawing lots.
You can-
For your own child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He has to be the one to reach in and draw the name.
Yeah.
It's harrowing. It's not about a good choice. It's just the least impossibly awful one.
And the name he draws, it's Kai's.
His youngest. His heart is described as broken. He picks up Kai's, as little. He still has this blind trust in his father.
Doesn't understand yet.
Not until he's outside.
Yeah.
Then it hits him. He's pounding on the door with his little fists, crying to be let back in.
Oh, that's brutal.
And Baba Ayub is on the other side, back pressed against the door, eyes squeezed shut, tears streaming down, just whispering, "Forgive me, forgive me." It's the ultimate sacrifice, not giving his life, but giving up his child.
The grief that follows. The story says it consumed him.
Utterly. There's the traditional 40 days of mourning, neighbors bring food, condolences.
Right, the community support.
But Baba Ayub's pain is different, deeper. It's called a river that swelled and swelled with each passing day. It's beyond normal grief.
And it affects him physically, mentally.
Completely.
Yeah.
He stops working, stops praying, stops eating, just wastes away in his grief.
And how does the village react to that?
Well, this is also quite telling. After a while, sympathy starts to curdle a bit. People start whispering, "He's a coward, maybe," or "an unfit father," something he's actually gone mad.
That's harsh, judging his grief.
It is. It shows how uncomfortable people can be with suffering they don't fully grasp. His wife, though, she tries to protect him, shield him from the worst of the talk.
But then something changes in him.
Yes. Suddenly, cutting through the despair, this resolve seems to take hold. One morning, at dawn, he just leaves. Alone. No announcement. Just gone.
Where's he going?
On a quest, it seems. A really arduous one. He walks for many, many days, crosses deserts, valleys, mountains. He's starving. His shoes fall apart.
Oh, wow.
He keeps going, pushing forward on his bare feet. The sheer willpower is just astounding.
He must be heading for the div.
That's his goal. When he finally reaches the div's mountain fortress, he doesn't hesitate. Despite being ragged, clothes shredded, feet bloodied, facing jagged rocks, hawks, strong winds, he just starts climbing. Immediately.
And when he reaches the div...
His intention is crystal clear.
Yeah.
He tells the div, "I have come here to kill you."
Uh-huh.
And then adds, "One way or another, one of us dies today."
He's got nothing left to lose.
Exactly. It's not just revenge. It feels like a desperate need for some kind of reckoning. An answer, maybe, to the pain.
Okay, so confrontation seems inevitable, but that's not quite what happens, is it?
No, it's really unexpected.
Yeah.
The div hesitates. It looks at this ravaged old man, sees the total lack of fear, and the div actually says it feels admiration for his courage.
Admiration after taking his son.
Right? But Baba Ayub, he's sharp, even in his grief. He snaps back. "For courage, there must be something at stake. I come here with nothing to lose."
Powerful point. Turns the div's compliment right back.
It really does. And this whole exchange, it shifts everything. The div doesn't attack. Instead, it invites Baba Ayub inside its fort.
Inside?
Yeah, through this labyrinth of hallways, huge chambers, apparently big enough to hold the entire village of Maidan Sabs. It's surreal. It signals this isn't just a monster, it's something more complex, maybe a tester.
And then it leads him to a room, pulls back a curtain, and what does he see?
It's stunning. Through a glass window, there's this incredibly beautiful garden. Lush, pools made of blue tiles, flowers everywhere.
Okay.
A total paradise compared to Maidan Sabs.
A stark contrast.
But that's not the main thing. The real shock, the thing that just stops your heart, is who's in the garden.
It's Kai's.
It's Kai's. Alive. And not just alive, but more than well. He's grown taller, he's dressed in fine clothes, he's laughing, playing happily with other children.
Oh, wow. So he's okay.
He seems more than okay. But here's the devastating twist. The div says flatly, he cannot hear you, nor see you.
He doesn't recognize his own father.
He doesn't remember him at all.
That must be, I can't even imagine. What possible explanation does the div give for this?
This is where the story really flips expectations. The div says, "This is your reward."
Reward? For what?
It calls Baba Ayub's ordeal a test of your love. And then incredibly, you passed.
Passed. How? By giving up his son.
The div's logic is that the agonizing choice Baba Ayub made, his willingness to bear that terrible burden instead of condemning all his children, was an act of profound, selfless love and courage.
Wow. That's a perspective.
It is. And it claims Kwais now has this amazing life. The finest food and clothes, friendship, affection, tutors teaching him arts and languages and in the sciences, and in the ways of wisdom and charity.
So a life of opportunity he never would have had.
Exactly. And the div even says, one day, Kais could choose to leave if he wanted to. It totally reframes the div's actions. Not as pure evil, but as, well, something else. Something that led to a better outcome for the child, perhaps.
Okay, so this test leads to the strange kind of mercy. But it's not over for Baba Ayub, is it? There's another choice.
Right. The div presents him with a final, maybe even crueler challenge. It uses an hourglass to symbolize the time he has to decide.
Decide what?
Take Kai's back to Midan Sab's, back to the peasant life,
Yeah.
the hardship, the drought.
Or
Or leave him here, in this paradise, with all its opportunities, but never see him again. And Kais will never know him.
another impossible choice. How does he react?
He's so tormented,
Yeah.
so overwhelmed by the impossibility of another such choice. He grabs the hourglass and throws it against the wall, smashes it.
Just breaks down.
Yeah, and it's in that moment the div says something really profound and maybe disturbing.
What's that?
Cruelty and benevolence are but shades of the same color.
Shades of the same color.
Yeah. It's not justifying anything, maybe, but it's suggesting that in really complex situations, especially involving love and sacrifice, the lines we draw between good and evil can get incredibly blurry. Depends on your perspective, the intent, the outcome.
Makes you think. So smashing the hourglass is a refusal, but he still has to make a decision, doesn't he?
He does. And ultimately, his love for Kais wins out, but in a heartbreaking way. He chooses to leave him there.
For his son's well-being. A truly selfless act.
Completely selfless. And as he leaves, the div gives him one last thing. A small glass flask with a dark liquid inside.
And what does that do?
This is maybe the most stunning part. The story calls it the div's second test, but also an act of mercy. Baba Ayub drinks it on his journey home. And when he arrives back in Maidan Sab's,
Yes.
he remembers nothing. Nothing about the journey, nothing about the fort, nothing about the div. He doesn't even remember ever having a son named Kais.
He forgot him entirely.
Completely erased. The potion wiped the agonizing memories clean. It allowed him to heal, in a way, from something unbearable. But it raises that question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is forgetting the same as healing?
And life changes for him and for the village, too.
Yes, almost like a new start. The drought, that 10-year drought, finally breaks.
Yeah.
Great rainfall comes, and Maidan Sab's begins to prosper again.
Wow.
And Baba Ayub, freed from that crushing weight of grief he no longer remembers, he becomes a successful farmer again, a happy patriarch. He sees his other children grow up, marry, has grandchildren. His dreams are fulfilled.
So he gets a second chance at a happy life. And he lives that life, long and content.
Yes, the story says he lived a long, happy life, found gratitude, found peace. By all outward appearances, a complete and content existence.
There's always a but in these stories, isn't there?
There often is, and here it's subtle. It's this persistent little mystery woven into his later years, his sleepless nights.
Sleepless, even though he's content.
Yeah. He'd find himself walking out to the edge of his field, sitting on this flat rock he liked, just looking at the stars, feeling peaceful, mostly. Mostly. Because sometimes, during those quiet nights, something strange would happen.
What was it?
He thought he heard something. Faintly. Every once in a while, the story says, he thought he heard another noise. It was always the same sound. A faint, distant jingling.
Jingling, like the bell.
Exactly. He'd be confused, maybe call out into the dark, "Who's there?" But nothing. No reply. Just the faint sound sometimes.
A ghost of a sound. An echo.
Precisely. And this is the final, really poignant touch. Whenever he heard that jingling, a wave of something like the tail end of a sad dream, always swept through him.
So, even though the memory was gone,
the feeling remained. An echo of the love, the loss, the sacrifice tied to that little bell. It suggests some things go so deep they leave a trace, an emotional resonance, even when the conscious mind is forgotten. A reminder of that profound, erased sacrifice.
wow. This story, this deep dive, it really does push you to think differently about, well, everything. Love, sacrifice, what mercy even means. It's not simple, is it? No easy answers, no clear heroes or villains, just impossible choices and their complex ripples.
Absolutely. And it leaves us and leaves you listening with some big questions to chew on, I think.
Like what?
Well, think about it. If you were offered that choice, merciful forgetting, erasing profound pain, but losing a part of your history, a part of yourself, would you take it?
That's a tough one.
But what does this fable really suggest about a parent's love? Is the ultimate love letting go, even into oblivion? And how does it challenge our neat boxes of good and evil when an act of seeming cruelty leads to a better life, and an act of mercy involves forgetting?
Definitely a lot to ponder there, how those deep emotions, those monumental choices can leave their mark, their faint jingling, even when we think they're long gone. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?